Good afternoon. Welcome to Real Talk with Mary Grace. You're on Mary Grace Media. We're streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, and Clout Hub today. And I'm hoping that the stream is working. I've been doing a little bit of technical work here and trying to do some updates on the computer systems. So please come on in as you're coming in, and please make sure that you share this, share it into groups. We're sort of getting around the algorithms a little bit. And if you're on Facebook, please share to groups that you belong to. Please share in YouTube. When you're in YouTube, also hit the thumbs up and then leave comments and make sure that you come back later and leave comments because these are all the ways that we can get around these algorithms. And so we do the best we can. We're not going to pay them to promote the channel at this point, but we're trying to get the message out to as many places as we can. And I did want to announce to you as you're coming in, I am going to be making a guest appearance tonight on another show. So please be sure and watch me on Steel Truth with Ann Vandersteel. I will be coming on, I think, in the later part of her show. She goes on at 9 p.m. Eastern. She is on a number of networks. You can go to the website steeltruth.com and you can log in or you can tune in there. She has a channel on Clout Hub. She also has a YouTube channel, and I shared the link to the channel in my Telegram. So please make sure that you click that channel. She keeps getting shut down, so you have to go on the channel that I just shared. And yeah, so thank you for sharing. And please make sure you tune in tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on Steel Truth. I will be on at some point during the show and does a great job. She does a great job, gets great guests on. And so please just make sure that you join us and it will be great to see all of you there. Again, she does have a Clout Hub channel as well, and I don't recall her channel number at the moment, but if you go to channels and scroll through, you'll see her show is called Steel Truth, and I'm excited and very honored to be able to make an appearance on the show. So thank you for everybody for your support. I think you're going to enjoy it. And what was I going to say? Yeah, Telegram. Here's the thing about Telegram. I know that people are still getting used to finding me and trying to figure out where I am and where to get notices from me. And the best place to go is to my Telegram channel, Mary Grace Media Official, because I don't post regularly on Facebook. I'm trying to get in the habit of posting things on YouTube. But I'm not on Twitter at this point, and I'm not on. I'm on Twitter, but it's my backup account. But you get what I'm saying. And so please join the Telegram. You can follow the Telegram official channel, and you don't ever have to chat. You don't ever have to make an appearance. You don't even need to do a profile picture. It's nice if you do, but just go there because, for example, I posted a little while ago that I would be going live, and that notice went out in my Telegram room. It went onto my Telegram official page, and so that's where you're going to get those. Sometimes I send out group emails, but I don't always have time. That takes a little bit of work. And so for the instant updates, you want to go and make sure that you follow that Telegram channel. The other thing about Telegram too is that when I post links and photos and things like that, you can actually go into Telegram and you can touch the top bar of the Telegram channel, and then you'll see tabs. You'll see a tab for links. You'll see a tab for media. You'll see tabs for the things, and then you'll see a tab that says voice. So if I ever leave a voice message in Telegram, you can go and listen to all of my voice messages. And so it's sort of like having Mary Grace show sort of around the clock. And so don't underestimate what I'm sharing with you on Telegram. I'm there a lot now. Just make sure that you get over there, and you can do Telegram on your computer. You can do it on your tablet. You can do it on your phone. It's not that hard, and just do a little tutorial either on Telegram or on YouTube to understand how to work it. All right, and then help each other. I've been talking about Telegram since I got taken off Twitter. So help each other, help people find me, If you signed up for my email list, I gave you a link to my Telegram channel. So I'm stressing to you how important it is that you go to Telegram if you want the most up to date stories and links and ideas of what it is that I'm talking about. The latest, most up to the minute communication from Mary Grace. Get on Telegram. Okay. And if you're a Superfoods customer, make sure that you contact me to get the link for our Superfoods Telegram group as well, because there is a group where you can connect with other people. Okay, let me move on here. Just again, make sure that you watch me on Clout Hub. Somebody put Ann Vandersteel's Clout Hub channel. It's channel 121. And so that's where you can watch as well. All right, let's move on. Um, what's in the news? I don't know. Kind of a slow news day, huh? It's so crazy how everything is happening these days, right? There's an impeachment going on. It's unconstitutional. I feel like what we're seeing right now with the impeachment is that I feel like what we're seeing with this impeachment is I think that the Democrats are about to walk into their own trap. What are you feeling about that? Are you feeling that this is a sort of a setup to get them to walk into their own trap? For example, for example, the whole thing that they're doing right now, all the stuff about inciting violence, about riots, about us being terrorists and things like that. It's very interesting because if you look at what Dan Scavino is posting, if you look at the images that are coming out from our side, it's pretty interesting because everything that they accuse us of doing, which they really don't have, which they really don't have footage of, except the footage that they doctored with their friends in Hollywood. We have literal footage of them doing these things. We have footage uh, of all of these people in Congress demanding that uh, that we basically calling for violence. That's what I'm trying to say. They're calling for violence. They're saying, Maxine Waters is saying, go find these people and terrorize them. What's her name? Omar is saying that we need to be destroyed. I mean, the truth is being published. I want to show you this one video that Dan Scavino put out. He actually put out two. And if you're not following Dan Scavino on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you need to be, because he's giving you comms. And for those people that say, "Oh, I got off Facebook. Oh, I got off this. Oh, I got off that." Let me just say something about that, okay? Um, Unless you've been kicked off, my recommendation is that you get back on. It's not fun. It's not fun and games, but there are things being communicated there that you need to see for now. One of them is Dan Scavino. So you may have jumped off of Facebook in protest. You may have gotten off Instagram in protest, et cetera, et cetera. You can set your account to private. You can take all of your private information off of there, but don't do that thing that people have done for the last 30 years, which is remove yourself completely from the battlefield. That is what got us into this place. And I've talked about this before. Do I love Facebook? No, I don't. Do I love Instagram? No, I don't. Do I love the people who are running these platforms? No, I don't. Do I think they're criminals? Yes, I do. But you're a fighter. I'm a fighter. You're called to a battle. How the heck are you going to get communication and see what they're doing if you remove yourself completely from the battle and put yourself in an echo chamber where everybody says everything that you want to hear and it all sounds nice? Think about this, people. So, I Again, I don't talk on Facebook. You look at my Facebook page, Mary Grace Media. I broadcast my show there. I don't talk to people. I don't go on my personal Facebook page and have conversations with people. I'm not posting about my life on Facebook. My Facebook page is locked down. People can't see anything. I haven't posted anything on my personal Facebook page in 2 years. But I'm there because if I need to go see a post that Danny Scavino puts up, then I need to have a Facebook account. I get a little bit irritated when people tell me when I post a link to Facebook. I mean, you might have gotten kicked off of something and banned permanently. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that removed themselves because they just took their toys and went home. That's what I'm talking about. And, if you have a very strong sense that the Lord told you specifically, get off of this platform, okay? I've had those moments where I've unplugged from something for a time. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that tried to, that just said, well, that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to be here anymore. That's what they want. They want to bully you into removing yourself from their playground. They want that territory. And that's what they've done. They've taken the church, they've taken media, they've taken social media, they've taken it all. Why are you letting them do that? They told me that if I came back on Twitter that I could be banned forever. Sorry, my show is on Facebook, Linda. My show is going on Facebook right now. YouTube, Linda, I'm on Facebook right now. So that's what I'm telling you. I am live casting to Facebook. I'm live streaming to CloutHub. I'm live streaming to YouTube because I'm still on those platforms. I'm still on Periscope because I got back into my old account and I'll probably start streaming there again soon too. They're switching over to just Twitter Live. But I think you get my point. This is war. Imagine the fact that you're not hearing from Trump right now doesn't really mean that you're not hearing from him. I want to be very clear about that. Just because they banned him from all of these platforms doesn't mean that he's never going to communicate with you again. There are people who are communicating on his behalf. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you that the people that are communicating on his behalf are on those platforms. And I'm going to give you a little bit more information about that in just a second. So I wanted to show you this video that Danny Scavino put up earlier. And so I'm going to go into my Mary Grace Media official. Let me find it. So these are two things that Scavino posted on Twitter. Hold on. I want to go back to the very beginning. Hold on, I'm messing with the iPad. Just give me a second. I need for it to start from the very beginning. I can't get it to pause. Just give me a second. It goes on autoplay.
Right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's.
I want you to see the very beginning.
The domestic enemies are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's no rest in our lives. If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, tell them they're not welcome anymore anywhere. Flames rip from the lower level of St. John's Church. And as you can see, there's definitely a fire here. It's burning right now in the Fairfax district. Protesters confronted Republican Senator Rand Paul. These people are scared about that.
Okay, the beginning of this video, I'm having a hard time. All right, here we go. I just want you to see the very beginning, if I can get it. This is the very beginning. It's a closed eye. You see that? And then the eye opens. So this is on Dan Scavino. So he posted this on Twitter, and he's posting different stuff. This morning he posted a live video from Mar-a-Lago on Facebook Live. So this is why I'm telling you, you don't have to be having conversations on Facebook. You don't have to be doing you don't have to be putting up your family pictures. None of that. Okay. Linda, I just saw where you said you're sharing on Facebook. I misunderstood what you were saying. So thank you for clarifying that. But here's the thing, the eyes are opening. And that's what I wanted to tell you. He's putting up these videos. He's really doing comms. He's communicating for the president right now. And that's what I want people to understand. And so just be aware of that, because it's so important that you be in this fight. And people have complained, and they have been upset because they're not hearing from the president. Believe me, I'm upset about this. It's hard because I miss the president. I miss hearing from him. I miss his tweets. I miss his speeches. But what you're being given right now is you're being given communications by his number one surrogate, which is Danny Scavino. So I'm urging you to get on these platforms and make sure you're watching what he's dropping. Now, people are putting this information into Telegram rooms, but sometimes you have to click the link, like a Facebook link. The video doesn't show in Telegram. You have to go outside of Telegram onto Facebook. So if people are in my chat, in my room, and I drop something from Facebook and they say, oh, I'm not on Facebook, it's just think about what you're saying, because maybe you got kicked off of Facebook. I get that. But it's sort of an excuse not to be in the fight anymore. And I get it. I have that reaction sometimes with Twitter, right? At first I was like, well, I'm not on Twitter. I can't see it. But you have the tools and you have the resources and the ability to get a new account, to get on those platforms. And so this is not the time to have an excuse, to use an excuse to say, oh, I'm not on Facebook. Because think about this, your president is communicating with you on these platforms, even though he's been banned from all of them. And they say that they don't ever want him to come back. He's still communicating with you. And so he's putting the responsibility on you to go and find the messages that he's sending to you. Are you tracking with me? I'm not trying to give you a guilt trip, but I'm trying to make you understand that the president is communicating with you. And he's doing it in a way where he wants you to take the responsibility for getting on these platforms. If he is communicating through these people on these platforms, then he wants you to be there to see what he's communicating. So, keep doing what you're doing. Roberta has a good point on YouTube. Who has stopped wearing their MAGA gear? Who has taken down their flags? You shouldn't do that. Okay, keep your American flag up. Be proud of who you are. He's your president. You voted for him, and they stole it, and they're not going to get away with it. So on that note, I wanted to tell you, last night there was a live chat on the channel that I told you about, and I'm still not going to announce it. I've been talking about this channel where somebody is communicating, and I believe it's Dan Scavino. I'm not absolutely sure, but it's somebody that is dropping crumbs. And I want people to go to my Telegram and see the links that I've dropped. I dropped some links last night, and I want you to see this because it is because it's very interesting, and I'm not talking about it publicly, and I don't have time to email all of you and tell you what's going on. But if you go to my Telegram room, I will continue to share information from that channel. They have a Telegram channel, and then they have another social media channel, and they're doing live chats, and they're coming into the live chat, and they're giving you information. And they told one of the things that they have told us to do. I'm dropping every. Somebody's asking whether it's my public Telegram. So when I drop something onto my public Telegram, it shows up in my private chat. So you're going to see it in either place. All right. So one of the things that this person told us is to bookmark a couple of websites. The one that they talked about last night was saveamerica45.com. Saveamerica45.com, the number 45. Bookmark that website. Our person that is dropping information in that live chat is telling everybody, and they've posted it more than once, more than on different days. Save that website. Go look at it, and you'll see right now that I think it has President Trump's seal on it, but they're going to put more information on. And I've been watching these live chats because I know not everybody's up when they're happening. And so I've been watching them, and I know that some people in my they, that some people in my chat are actually watching it now too, and they're taking screenshots. So make sure when you go and you watch this live chat and they start communicating that you take screenshots in case it gets taken down. Because I'm telling you, these I believe that these are drops. I believe that they're picking up where they left off on those boards. That's what I believe is happening. And I think some of you can confirm that. Uh, Roberta is saying Victor knows what and how POTUS fix things. He refuses to say because no one else has written about it and he will not be the first. Interesting. Okay. Um, if you can send me that link, that would be great. Where he said that. Okay, so let me just read you some things that were posted last night in the live chat, and then you decide whether you think it's worth finding this information. All right. So the first thing they said was bookmark saveamerica45.com, updates to come soon. What do you think about that? I think it's interesting. They also told us a couple of days ago to make sure that you follow Don Jr.'s Telegram channel. That's another reason to be on Telegram. So that's an important one. Okay, the backup, let's see. And people have been asking, I have to go back and look at the other comms, but there's been these blue boxes on POTUS's desk, and people are asking about it, and this individual is posting a key, and people are asking about the key, and and this person is saying a key is symbolic for access, right? So I think that's interesting. And then the key, this person says more on that by the weekend, and why January 19th images at the White House are important. So this person has told us that the January 19th images from the White House are important. And so we need to keep watching for this. So I would watch that website. I would watch Don Jr.'s Telegram. I would watch Dan Scavino's social media channels, and I would keep an eye on those. I would watch all of those. The president is not on Telegram. The president, as far as I know, is not posting anywhere right now. If he does, or if there is communication from any of these places and I find it, I will post it in my Telegram, Mary Grace Media Official. So you'll see it there. Next thing they said, this is interesting. Remember when we used to get questions? Well, they asked a couple of questions last night. One was, why has Alex Jones never been invited to White House 45, WH 45? Alex Jones. Was InfoWars media credentials for the White House pulled very early on in 2017? Some people know this, some people don't. Uh, okay. January 19th photos. Yeah. If anybody can find those. And remember the other day they told us to use TinEye to verify photos. TinEye. TinEye is a program to verify real photos. So make sure that you're using that. Okay, and then somebody said, well, why did General Flynn go on InfoWars if Alex Jones is persona non grata? And this person said Flynn on InfoWars was all about getting the message out. AJ still has a wide base. So I would go back and watch that episode of InfoWars where Flynn was on. Do you feel like you're being given some good information here? Do you think that this story is over based on what I'm reading you from these comments on this channel? What do you think? Then they said, we won't give up, nor should you. And they put an eagle emoji. We won't give up, nor should you. And then there was another drop where they said something about the flag. They said that it was about the American flag. Oh, another one they said was they were replying to somebody that made they were replying to somebody's question, and they said, "Hold the wine." Who said that? Who said to hold the wine? I'm just saying, guys, this is very interesting. Very interesting. The other thing this person is doing is they're dropping their location pins. So last night they dropped a pin on Telegram and then it disappeared in about 30 seconds. The location pin was Trump Tower in New York. Okay. Now here's something that should encourage all of you, and it goes in line with everything that I've been telling you. And it doesn't line up with some things that you've been told by some other people. And I want you to really take this to heart. Trump's inner circle have not stopped working for us. Trump's inner circle have not stopped working for us. Do you remember when I told you that there are people around Trump who are sort of his war council, and then there are the people around Trump who are his secret war council? Do you remember that? I'm going to read this again. Trump's inner circle have not stopped working for us. Now think about the reports that you've heard from Patrick Byrne, the Overstock CEO guy, who wrote about just how people had betrayed the president and how they weren't helping him, that they wouldn't look at the evidence, that it was chaos, that the wheels were falling off, that his advisors were doing him wrong, all of that. And so, I've said that to you. I've told you that I think that there is a little bit of a psyop going on there. Because remember, everything that comes out of the White House, the president told us early on, the leaks are real, the news is fake. And last week, Caitlin Collins, or just the other day, Caitlin Collins from CNN was reporting that the president was screaming at the TV watching the impeachment hearing, and that he was a big baby and that he was a mess. So you decide what you think is is going on with the president and his inner circle. His and when you hear about inner circle, what does that really mean? One thing that I will say to you is this: when you go back and you read those accounts and you hear those stories of the people that were preventing access to the president, that were shutting people out, does Danny Scavino's name ever come into those stories? Do you hear stories about Danny Scavino advising the president not to look at evidence, or preventing him from acting, or telling him not to go on social media or anything like that? Is Dan Scavino one of those people that you feel is giving him bad advice? Just think about that. Okay. So, you know, one of the stories that has come out of the White House from the very beginning is that if you go back and listen to the mainstream media, they will continually say that the walls are closing in, that the president is out of his depth, that his advisors are serving him badly, that they're not giving him the kind of advice he needs, that that he is being betrayed and backstabbed, and that he has no control over any of his domain, right? And if you think about, for example, when he first got into the White House, the story was that he was so far out of his depth, and he didn't know really what to do. That he, he it was a big mistake, and that he should never have even gotten into the White House. Do you remember that narrative? And the story that's being pushed around now is that he was quite honestly relieved to be leaving, and that he was ready to wash his hands of it, and that he even joked about going and playing golf and just taking, just being a grandpa and getting back to private life. Do you remember that? So if you know anything about our president, and if you know anything about the persona that he has perfected over the years, even before he became president, it is it's the persona of the Don, right? Yo, hey, yeah, I'm just a guy from Queens, and I'm here to do business. Tell me what you got. He has that sort of dumb act. You saw it during the coronavirus briefings when he would ask questions about the treatments. And the truth is, he did all this research and he knew about everything, but he was just kind of playing dumb, because the people that have betrayed this country always think that they're the smartest person in the room. And so when they encounter somebody that they consider inferior to them, this is important to understand in human dynamics. When somebody like a Fauci, a Dr. Death, encounters somebody that they consider to be inferior or uneducated, they look down their nose at them, especially the New York, the coastal elites. If you didn't go to the right school, if you don't belong to the right country club, if you associate with these people and not these people, there's a hierarchy and a pecking order that is really critical, and it shapes their thought process and it shapes their judgment about the people that they are around. And so when you see a Fauci or a Burks and they come into contact with a Trump, they automatically make the assumption that he's an uneducated bumpkin from the outer boroughs of New York. And the president, early on, even though he's a very stable genius, the president learned to take advantage of that. And of he developed the persona of the Don, right? The bumbling guy, the uneducated, uh, you know, crazy talking, hard talking construction guy. And he's used it to his advantage all this time. And if you don't see that, go back and watch some of his roundtables. Go back and watch some of his coronavirus briefings and watch him play that role and watch how they interact with him and how he put them in a position of playing of just walking right into that superiority persona and looking down their noses at him. It's brilliant what he's able to accomplish because then they underestimate him. And if you look at some of the still shots of the president watching Fauci and watching his arch enemies, you can see that he's looking at them with daggers. Barron has the same look, by the way. He's able to size somebody up and just look at them and just put daggers through them without saying a word. That's our president. He's really brilliant when it comes to that. And so he puts people off guard, completely off guard. And they get sloppy and they get arrogant. And it's just like the tortoise and the hare, right? The hare is just bouncing around and thinking, oh, tortoise is so slow. That's what they think about Trump. They think he's stupid. They really do. And they get caught up in their own belief. They get caught up in how they believe and what they believe about him. That's what they believe about you and me, too. They really believe that I'm stupid. They really believe that in spite of my advanced degrees, that I'm stupid because I voted for a guy that they think is stupid. And this is one of the things that they've really underestimated about us is that they think that 80 million people are idiots. I mean, Hillary called you deplorable, rednecks, et cetera, et cetera. And, the non-educated, white male, right? Those are the people that build your cars, fix your sink, install your electric, defend your country. They're some of the smartest people on the planet. And the president knows that because he has worked in those jobs. All of his kids grew up working on the job sites like he did. And so he knows how you think. He knows how I think. He knows what it is that he knows what it is that motivates people. And so, right now, the message to the deep state is you completely and totally underestimated everything that's going on right now. And the message to you is that you are part of this fight and the fight is not over. And he is trusting you to stay in the fight. And that's an important message. I'm just looking at some of your comments here. Yeah, they see us as livestock. They do. They see you as chattel. They see you as the labor force to pay the bills. And it's kind of interesting. So I want to shift to something that's happening right now over in another part of the world, and that is that in the nation of Myanmar, Burma, the military has taken over. You might have seen that, and they let me find it. I posted it a while ago. Okay, so it says Myanmar's military leader Ming Aung Hlaing said in his first televised address since the coup that the new military government will hold elections and hand over power to the winner. So I think this is significant. And some of you may be aware that this happened and some of you may not be. But the whole reason that the military took over the government in Myanmar is because the elections were stolen, and it's because they used voting machines that were rigged. And so here we are, here we are, and we're now seeing, of course, the all the right people, all the right people freaked out when this happened, and all of the deep state people called it, an insurrection when the military went in to return the power to the people and to hold elections. And there's something interesting that I think most of you know this, but one of the things that General Flynn did when he was in service is that he was in Iraq, and he was part of the democratic elections there, and he's talked about this before. He's talked about, putting the ink on the fingerprint on the finger after you vote, and having fair elections, and he's compared what we did in this country and what we allowed to what they were able to accomplish in Iraq. And it was run by the military. The US military ran the election. And now we have a story here saying that that the military in Myanmar is going to conduct a fair election, and they're going to put the winner in the place of power. And I don't know for sure what it is that is going to happen, but I I don't think that's coincidence that we have two different situations where the military, two stories where the military went in and conducted fair elections and put the rightful leader in place. What do you think about that? It's very interesting, isn't it? If you need to get me a message, send me an email, info@marygracemedia.com, somebody on Facebook. But just a reminder, if you send me messages and the links that have no context, I won't click on them because I don't want any spam or um, what do you call it, malware or anything like that. So just remember, if you do send me a link, I need to know a summary, a context. Okay. So yeah, so I think that it's interesting to see the reaction of the left, the extremists in this country, for what just happened in Burma. Because remember who took over that country? It was, the neighboring country that is trying to take over the whole world, and the ones that gave us the virus. Those are the people that have been pretty much running the show in that nation, and now the military has taken over. I just think it's very interesting. Like, how did they get around uh how did they get around the other, you know communist people that have been running things? I'm being careful with my words because I know, that people are watching. So I just think it's really interesting. I think that we really need to pray, because it's almost like they're setting the stage here to get the public used to the idea that, oh wait, this country ran an unfair election, and the election was manipulated by, wait for it, those voting machines. And wait a minute, didn't we use those? And I think that that evidence is going to come out more and more in the public, and then people are going to see, they're going to start to make the connection. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know, but I do feel like there's a plan. Um, yeah, Julia is saying that the leader that got elected, is connected to some of our deep state players, the puppets, Hussein and Hildebeest, right? And so, yeah, they just took Project Veritas off of Twitter. That's crazy. Let me see. Yeah, so you guys are making the connections, aren't you, to what's happening? I think it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting. Let me just look and see. Oh, I wanted to talk a little bit about Hollywood because I think something's happening in Hollywood. And I realize now. I realize now when you think about how deep Hollywood has been with the left, it didn't occur to me it didn't occur to me how fully and how completely Hollywood was helping shape the narrative. I know that they've been doing programming, and I know that if you looked at that movie, what is it called? Out of Shadows. If you saw that movie, you would see how interconnected the CIA is with Hollywood and how they use the programming to program people. And but I just made the connection of how intensely they have controlled the narrative when I saw what they did yesterday in the impeachment hearing, where they put together an entire Hollywood production of the so-called riot, and they spliced everything and manipulated the American people into seeing something that wasn't real. And it just it really it really got to me because then I also happened to listen to a story this morning, and I haven't finished listening to it, but it was a radio interview with a woman who wrote a book about 9/11, and she was a former flight attendant, and she was talking about all the research that she did. Some of you people that are in Andrea Joy's Telegram room, you might have seen it. When I first saw it, I saw where the link came from, and I almost didn't click it because I thought it was probably just some weird clickbait thing. And then Andrea commented on it and said how good it was. So I went and started listening to it, and then my day got away from me. But the part that I was listening to so far was super eye opening because she was talking about how she started researching all of these data points from that day, from 9/11. And she went through point after point after point after point of describing what she thought was a total setup, a total psyop on the American people. Now, she's not saying that nothing crashed into the buildings. Obviously, we know that the buildings came down, but she was talking about how how even the phone calls from the cockpits or from the flight attendants to their family members, how she feels like they were actually in a hangar and they were participating in war games. And so the calls that they made were real, but it was part of war games. I'm going to share it in my Telegram because the thing that I think is just so interesting um, is that if that could be manipulated to that level, and then we saw what they did, and then we saw what they did, yesterday. Uh, and we saw what they did yesterday in Congress to the American people. It just I feel a little bit naive for saying this, but it woke me up. It was just one of those aha moments, like we've been lied to by pretty much everything. They've been lying to us about everything. That was my aha moment. Like John F. Kennedy, that's when they started saying that people were conspiracy theorists. The Korean War, it didn't really start or end the way they said. World War II didn't start or end the way they said. The Titanic didn't really happen the way they said. 9/11 didn't really happen the way they said. What else? The Oklahoma City bombing didn't really happen the way they said. Everything. I mean, we're living in a movie. We are living in a movie, and we're the unwitting participants in their movie that Hollywood has put together for years and years and years and years. We are the unwitting participants in their movie. And what happened when Donald Trump came was that he started pulling back the curtain, because what was the thing that he started? They're the ones who coined the phrase fake news. I don't know if you realize that, but that was started where they were trying to debunk the stuff that we put onto social media, and they started labeling it fake news. So he took their term and he turned it against them, and he started putting a microscope on their stories. And so we're at this point where we're breaking through the matrix. I've been red pilled for a long time, but I just got super duper red pilled today when I made those connections. It's like I took a red pill, a turbo red pill. And I am just having this epiphany that we have been lied to 99% of the time. I hate to say it. And the people who write history are the ones who determine the course of events. Well, the people that make the stories, the people that the Hollywood, the people who present the news are the ones who determine the entire narrative. I mean, you look at the entire narrative around around the virus. Look at what they were able to do just by controlling the media. It's just, I mean, I'm just in this aha moment, and I know that everybody's in different levels of that, but it really is just amazing to me. And the reason I believe that the reason that they hate him so much is because he's in that world and he completely yanked back the curtain on it in a way. And this is what our military intelligence insiders did too. They yanked back the curtain and they said, look, no clothes, no clothes, no power, because I'm here to give the power back to the people. And that's what's happening every day now. People are coming to this awareness in droves. And the problem that they're having is that it's critical mass and they can't stop it. And the other problem that's happening is that the that 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 people are turning to God. And so Mario Murillo was talking about this. He was saying that people are literally knocking on church doors and begging to know God, and the harvest is ripe. And it's just it's remarkable because when that happens, and remember I talked about this the other day, when the presence of God, when the Spirit of God enters a person, or when they receive Christ into themselves, right? When that connects and people are getting Holy Spirit revelation, and when they are walking and carrying the presence of God, then what does the Word of God say? It says, when what does the Word of God say? It says, every place that your feet touch will be yours. And so when the president called 80 million people and said, come to Washington, and millions showed up, that that rocked the entire foundation of everything that they thought they owned. That's why they were so angry that we dared set foot in their sacred place. Do you see where this is going? This is you are alive at the best time in humanity. It's such a good time to be alive if you have your eyes open and you're willing to see it and you're willing to walk into it and not walk away from the fight. And that's why I'm telling you not to walk away from the social media for now where you're getting the communication, because you're learning to fight and you're learning to see, and it's all becoming so clear to you. You're not there to get information, to get fake news. You're there to get intel and you're there to get comms from the people who are using that place to give you the information. That's why you're there. Okay? It's like going into the park bench and looking under the bench and getting the envelope with the comms that you need for the next part of the mission. That's why we're still on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, and we're listening to Dan Scavino and other people that are communicating to us. You are alive at the most important time in history, and God is giving you an opportunity to walk into the truth and to bring that truth to the people around you. And you can't do that by burying your head and saying, that's it, I'm done. Because really, if you're, what are you done with? Are you done with freedom? Are you done with fighting for freedom? Are you done with fighting for the truth? This is it. This is it. And God is inviting you in. The president is inviting you in. The communications that I've been telling you about, the chat, you're being invited into that. But, the Bible says it's the glory of God to conceal a matter, and it's the glory of kings to seek it out. God has put you in a time right now where you need to seek, you need to knock, and even go to those places where you can find that communication. It was easy before because the president was talking all the time. And now it's time for you to go look. Go to my Telegram and figure out what it is that I'm telling you about this channel so that we can keep this and not have it shut down. Somebody asked a question about the Telegram channels. Can somebody please help that person in YouTube to get my Telegram channel? I'm gonna, if I remember after this, I'll go put it in the chat as well, okay? So that you can click it. But you have to be on Telegram. You have to have that app, and you have to be on there first. You have to set up your account, and then you click my links. Otherwise, it's going to tell you it doesn't exist, okay? So please help each other, all right? Somebody's asking about Don Jr.'s Telegram. It's official. It has a blue check. There are some blue checks on Telegram. I found that out. Okay. So please help each other. I really need you to help each other. I'm a little bit overloaded with communication right now. So if you can help each other and connect offline, that would be really great if you could do that. Uh, so um but going back to what I was saying, there's so much revelation coming out. And I was talking to somebody the other day who really truly believed that they hated Trump, but they didn't have the information. They didn't have enough information, and so I was just red pilling them. And some of the things that I was telling them were just truly shocking. But I'm just going to tell you that there's an avalanche of awareness coming to people, and I know that I'm probably 1,000 times more aware than most people, but we're all coming to different stages of awareness, right? And just be, just be in prayer too, because people, one of the things that our insider says is that, when that a very small percentage will be able to handle it. And there are people who don't want to know exactly what uh, what has been um, what has been happening. But you can't be one of those people. Don't be one of those people. Don't be that person that says, "I don't want to know. I can't handle it." I don't think you are, because you wouldn't be listening to me if you were. But take personal responsibility and take the responsibility to know and to be a part of the solution, and don't bury your head in the sand. Okay. Let me just read the chat here. So make sure, for those of you who are just coming in, make sure that you're following me on all of my platforms. I'm Mary Grace. This is Mary Grace Media, and you can go to marygracemedia.com. You can also follow me on Twitter, on um, Twitter, Cloud Hub Channel 111, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm also on Gab. And did I say Twitter? I mean, YouTube. Mary Grace Media on YouTube, Facebook, Cloud Hub Channel 111. And I'm back on my backup channel on Twitter, which is Real Mary Grace 1. And then my backup Periscope is Real Mary Grace. I just haven't connected it yet. But that's where I am these days. And so please make sure that you are following me on all those channels. You can partner with me by clicking on the support link on my website, marygracemedia.com. You can also participate by purchasing superfoods. And if you haven't done that yet, we have some of the best superfoods on the planet that are delivered right to your door. And I know that some places are open and it's easy for people to shop, but maybe you're disgusted with what's in the food, and you've been thinking about the fact that you don't want things from those other countries in your body anymore, or you don't want pesticides in your body, and you want to eat cleaner and you want to get healthier. And this is part of your journey in getting back in the fight and staying in the fight. And so a lot of people have been participating. We have what's called a 30-day transformation with superfoods. You actually get to eat you eat solid food, but you also use our meal replacements, which are fantastic. And we've had people like Delia who have lost tremendous amounts of weight very safely. And we have people like Greg Harvey over on his show. He has lost over 25 pounds, I think. It's remarkable, and he's doing amazing. He's feeling great, and we have people who are just we have people who are getting rid of inflammation, pain, sleeplessness. If you have trouble sleeping, if you have brain fog, the superfoods are going to make a huge difference in you. And so, even if you don't have to lose weight, make sure that you are getting the superfoods into your body. Um, in order to do that, you need a voucher from me so that you can save $100 off retail for the first full month. And the way to get that is to email me info@marygracemedia.com, and I'll send you that voucher. It's a promo code so that you can purchase and you can participate. We also have a Telegram group for that. There's a private Facebook group that has over 1,000 members on it. There's recipes. There's really good supportive community of people that are doing this. And so, take responsibility for your own personal well-being. This is so important. And one of the things that we've been hurt by is the food supply. We really have. And so, just put invest in yourself and get out of the standard American diet and get these superfoods into your body. My story is amazing. I mean, I've had such a transformation. Those of you who've been following me for a while know that, even in my appearance, my skin, the inflammation. I have an autoimmune condition, and it's helped me so much. So please write to me, info@marygracemedia.com, and make sure that you get that voucher. Somebody just asked where to get the information, Maggie. Yeah, so just write to me, info@marygracemedia.com. Somebody just said here, Mary Grace, today's sermon from you was excellent and eye opening. Once again, thank you for sharing your knowledge and discernment with us. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Let's see. I suspect Greg will go for 100 plus pounds loss after he achieves his 75, since he told us this morning what his weight was when he began. Oh, wow, Roberta, that's great. Yeah. I think he's actually a little bit, I think he's really happy. And the great thing too is that when you buy superfoods from me or you buy superfoods from Greg, you're actually helping him financially too, because he's getting a commission. And so it's really a blessing for him and for his family in more ways than one. And so that's just it's great. It's win-win. It really is. And let's see. What are we doing here? Okay, Diane said, okay, yeah, so there's two ways to get on Telegram. My Telegram uh my Telegram, what do you call it? Channel is public. Mary Grace Media official, okay? My Telegram private chat, I don't share that link publicly because I don't want bots and spam in the chat. And so if you sign up for my email list, if you go to my website, marygracemedia.com, and you wait for the little pop up and you put in your information, you're going to get an auto reply with those links in there. Okay. Let's see. Um, Somebody said get off the high fructose corn syrup. Exactly, Gary. Yeah. Our superfoods don't have any of that. It's organic, non-GMO, just absolutely one of the best things. And it's just wonderful because the superfoods are we're based in the US. Okay. Um I've asked before, but no answer. Missy, did you email me? Because if I missed it, email me again. But also make sure that you check your spam folder and make sure that you have me in your address book, info@marygracemedia.com. So autoimmune, a lot of people get really tremendous benefits with autoimmune conditions. I'm not a doctor, so obviously I can't tell you that it will or won't make a difference, but I've seen just we have some amazing testimonials of people who are dealing with uh, all kinds of conditions. So it's definitely worth a try. I don't think it's going to hurt. So send me a message, okay? I'm gonna go. Make sure again that you tune in tonight to Steel Truth, and go to steeltruth.com to get her links. I'm going to be appearing on Ann Vandersteel's show, Steel Truth, steeltruth.com, and you will be able to see me again tonight. And I will be back also on Monday on this same channel, on these channels, Mary Grace Media. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for all the great comments and interaction today. I appreciate it. Thank you to the moderators. And again, just write to me, info@marygracemedia.com, so that you can get started on this superfoods transformation. You won't be sorry. Have a great evening, everybody. See you at 9 o'clock on Ann's show.